Hello and welcome to Rise Up Wellness. I am so happy to have you here with me today. Today I'm going to be talking all about water. We all know that water is important, right? It's not new information. It's not something that has just come out as a new fad or anything. Drinking water is always been important, but something that we're not often told is why, how much we're supposed to drink, and how to increase our water intake in a way that doesn't feel like you are drowning in the amount of water that you're drinking. So I'm going to talk about each of those things today, and hopefully you can leave here with some helpful tips to increase your water intake and get yourself feeling healthier. So first of all, why is water important? Well, first of all, our bodies are made up of about 60% water. So if we're not replacing what we're losing through sweat, urination, all of those things, then we're going to be dehydrated. And most of us walk around pretty consistently dehydrated. So first of all, it's going to help your organs and your cells and everything just have the amount of water that it needs. Water is also really good for flushing out toxins. It can help relieve constipation or reduce constipation. It can help brain function, it can help cushion your joints, it can help clear up your skin. Water is amazing if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to just get healthier, because oftentimes we mistake our hunger cues, we mistake our thirst cues as hunger cues. So we're actually thirsty, but we think we're hungry. But if we just drink some water, then we actually discover that we're not hungry and we don't need to eat. So it can be really helpful if you're starting to learn to tune into your bodily wisdom, tune into what your body needs, and really pay attention to that. Increasing your water intake can be really beneficial because it can help you be able to actually accurately identify your body's cues. And there are so many other benefits. I'm not going to go into all of them today, but like I said, my favorite one is when you're trying to lose weight, to drink your water, because it can really help tune into your bodily wisdom. And that's so important, because that's what I stand for. I stand for looking at and learning to listen to your cues. And if you're not providing your body with the nutrients and the fluids that it needs, it makes it really hard to understand what those cues actually are. Okay, so how much water should you drink? And how do you know if you're drinking enough? So there's a lot of different theories out there, right? 8 glasses of water, so 64 ounces. You know, that's kind of been the standard for a long time. I have heard more recently that you should drink half of your body weight in ounces. So that's what I aim for. I actually tend to drink a little bit more than that, but that's just my own personal preference. But drinking half of your body weight in ounces is a good way to start. And so the way that you do that, because I'm gonna explain this, because when I started doing this, I was like, that's a lot of water, because I did it wrong. So you take your body weight, so let's say you weigh 150 pounds, divide it in 2, okay? So 75, you drink 75 ounces of water. What I did is I messed it up and I converted pounds to ounces, and it was like a lot of water or something like that, I don't know. But that's not what you're supposed to do. So you take your weight, divide it in 2, and that's the number of ounces that you should drink, okay? At a minimum, okay? You can drink more than that, but you should aim for that. But now here's the thing. If you need to drink 75 ounces of water a day and you drink maybe 10, don't jump to 75 for 2 reasons. Your body is going to be overloaded. You're going to be in the bathroom all day long and it's going to be obnoxious. It's going to be really hard for you to keep up with that, okay? You have to slowly build yourself up to it. So don't feel like if you are like, oh my gosh, I'm 100 ounces below where I need to be, how am I ever going to get there? It's fine. You can take slow steps to get there. It's not a big deal. So how do you know if you're drinking enough, okay? The best way to tell is your urine a light color, right? And are you peeing relatively frequently? If that's the case, then yes, you're drinking enough water. Our urine should be a light yellow, you know, to more on the clear side. If it's dark, if you're really not going that much, if you're only going a couple times a day, then you're not drinking enough, okay? So those are some good cues to look at. And just, how do you feel? Do you feel thirsty throughout the day? Do you not? What I have found is that when I drink more water, I actually tend to be more thirsty because I'm more aware of those cues. So before I started increasing my water intake, I wouldn't drink that much and I wouldn't feel thirsty. But now that I do, if I'm behind in my water intake, I feel thirsty. But I think before I used to think that I felt hungry. So it's just learning to understand those cues. Okay, the best part, how do you increase your water intake? There are obviously a million different ways in which you can work to increase your water intake. There's no one right way to do this. And it really is up to you. So I'm going to share what's worked for me and what's worked for some of my clients. And then if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, you can find a different way to do it, or you can work with me and I can help you find a different way to do it. So the biggest thing is to have a water bottle that you like, that you enjoy drinking from, and that is not like an 8-ounce water bottle. So have something that's maybe 10, 12, 20. I personally have a 40-ounce water bottle just because I don't want to have to fill it up over and over and over and over again throughout the day. So get a water bottle you like and literally make it attached to yourself at the hip. The more you see it, the more likely you are to drink it. For example, my water bottle is right over here right now, okay? It's right here. This is my big, hefty water bottle. I keep this with me all the time. It is literally with me everywhere I go. If I am going out somewhere where I might need to put it in my bag, I do have a smaller one that I will bring because that would be obnoxious to carry in my purse. But that's beside the point. So have a water bottle that you like and bring it with you all the time. And then start to be aware of how much water you're drinking. So start to track it, start to take note of it. If you just kind of happen to drink water out of glasses throughout the day or whatever, just make a note in your phone. The first thing to increase is to know where you are, okay? You can't increase your water intake if you don't know how much you're drinking. So start by tracking your water intake, figure out how much you're drinking, and then you can start to go, and then where you want to go from there. And start by increasing it maybe 5 to 10 ounces a day, depending on how much you're drinking. If you're already drinking a fair amount, you could go a little more, but literally 5 to 10 ounces a day. So like 1 extra cup of water a day. That is all that you want to increase it by, and you want to stick with that amount for like a week until you get used to it. You want to work on developing the habit first before you work on and worry about how much you're drinking, okay? Because chances are if you're not drinking enough, you don't have a habit set yet to drink water. And that's what you want to develop first, because then it's going to be easier to increase it. So to create the habit, you have a water bottle that you like, and then you want to do something called habit stacking. So you stack a habit that you're wanting to improve, increase, or add onto a habit that you already exist. I'm going to give you my favorite example that I had a client do that worked really well for her. She wasn't drinking water at work. She has to wear a mask right now, and it was really hard for her to just make sure she was staying hydrated during work. So what we had her do, she's like, well, I could drink water when I go to my computer desk, but I always forget. So I said, okay, well, every time you go there, you're gonna have your water bottle on that desk, or I think it was like right next to it or something. And you're gonna stack the habit of every time you get to your desk to take notes, you're gonna take a sip of water before you start taking your notes. So we were stacking the habit of getting to her desk to take notes with drinking water. And it worked for her. She got used to drinking that water every time she got there. So there's a million different ways you can do it. Every time you fill up your kids' water bottles, you fill up yours. Every time you go to put dishes in the sink after a meal, you fill up your water bottle and you drink it. Every time you sit down on the couch, you have a sip of water. Something you do regularly throughout the day that you can stack that habit on top of, okay? Now, this can seem on the surface pretty easy. It can sometimes feel a little challenging to implement. So this habit stacking, creating of habits, and implementing them and making them really solid is something that I work a lot on in my individual coaching practice. So if you are looking for help with habit stacking, creating healthy habits, anything along those lines, whether it's water related or not, let me know, and I would be happy to work with you and to help you through those things. Okay, so that's my general tip for helping to increase water. My challenge for you for today is to track your water intake. Let me know how much you're drinking and what is your goal for the next week of your water intake, because knowing where we stand will allow us to know where to go, and then setting a goal is going to be helpful in helping us get there. And as always, I'm here to help you if you need any help. All right, that is all I've got for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy your water challenge.